After one viewing at a Cinebarre movie theater, my thoughts on 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Today is Sunday, 18 January 2026, and here I, Tanis, She/Her/Hers of Seattle, provide my thoughts on 28 years later, The Bone Temple, after seeing it once in a Cinebarre movie theater, Regal Cinebarre Mountlake. The showing was a 4:30 p.m. showing in the English language with English captions / subtitles on screen on Sunday, 18 January 2026, for which my food was an order of a 10-inch cheese pizza. Opening day / release date for 28 years later, The Bone Temple, was Friday, 16 January 2026, so this was opening weekend. And so I'm going to go through the movie and then the Cinebarre part of the experience. And so the movie was 28 years later, The Bone Temple, and I saw it with my aunt Danette. And it was us, and it was good. It was part of the 28 days later, 28 years later kind of like franchise, if we want to call it that, of movies. And so there are these people, and they're infected with rage. There's a movie kind of was concluded, and I said to my aunt, and I was if I have a takeaway or like were to summarize this movie in some way, it'd be, I killed my rapist. They got the rage part right. I mean, it's just and so like essentially these people, they get infected. It's like kind of like a zombie movie, but not really a zombie movie. And they get infected by rage, and so they are like really like they're infected, and they just go for the people. They move really quick, and they're there to kill. And so there's kind of a group where there's kind of like the guy in charge with the religious dogma and the kind of like brainwashed cult members that are young, and that's kind of one of the storylines. And then another storyline is this guy who lives in this place that he's really turned into a sanctuary or a temple, and it has these pillars and this kind of like a conical central piece that is the pillars are made of bones, and the conical piece is made of skulls, human skulls. And this guy has this big guy who may or may not have kind of a different infection. And the guy who lives in this bone temple in 28 years later, the Bone Temple, is a doctor. And so he's interested in this other bigger guy who got to this place in a different means. And so he kind of like takes him under his wing to kind of like foster growth in a different way than this other group, where they're kind of like out there to kill, and that kind of thing. And the guy at the Bone Temple, because the story kind of progresses, and it's really about kind of, there are these humans who aren't infected, and how do they stay alive in a world that's been infected. And so the guy who runs the Bone Temple, where it's kind of just him, it's really about protecting his space through kind of ritual, and that kind of thing, so that the infected won't invade his space. So it was really well done. I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, it was. I think it was like, it was so intense at points where I actually like, I was like, I killed my rapist, because I laughed out loud. It was like, it was like the before the killing of the rapist, I was like, and now I'm like, so it was kind of an interesting self-observation. So that's the movie. The Cinebarre part, I ended up going with something I have gone with before, as in 2025, but not in this year. And it was this year, 2026. Yeah, it was the cheese pizza, which is a 10-inch cheese pizza with a red sauce and then cheese. And I ate the whole thing, and it was mighty tasty. And it goes into, and this is my cup from the movie, my water cup. I got the water. It goes at the bottom, and cheese pizza goes into the cup, and it was tasty. And I now have, it was the item I ordered the most in 2025, and now it's here in 2026, my 2026 AD year stack. And yes, I know, another pizza at the Cinebarre. I had a pizza at the Cinebarre on 2 January 2026 as well, and if I have not mentioned, which I don't think I have, I love cheese pizza. It is my favorite. It's a tie. My favorite pizza is cheese pizza
And it's a two-way tie, cheese pizza with just black olives. So there we go. It was a good all-around experience. So there we go. That is, after one viewing at a Cinebarre movie theater, my thoughts on 28 years later, The Bone Temple.